Okay, this is CIS 1103 week 7. This chapter is about cabling. You open it here in your computer. It's better in the computer because it's cold. So this chapter is about cabling. So week 7, cabling the bit. We all know that computers recognize or understand binary digits, zeros or ones. And each bit can only have one of two possible values, zeros or one. Okay? Each group of 8 bits is called byte. So here we have 1 bit. Let me open it here. How many bits here? 8 bits, yani 1 byte. So the data is converted, whatever you type is converted into binary or bits. Then it needs to be converted into signal so that it can be sent across the network media, correct? Or the cable. Okay, the media we call it physical medium. اللي هو نفس cabling or Wi-Fi, physical medium, such as media, copper wire, fiber optic. All right. So there are 3 common methods of signal transmission: electrical signals, optical signals, and wireless signals. Wireless transmission is achieved by using infrared, microwave, or radio waves through the air. So it is radio waves, electromagnetic signals. Optical is light or laser. Electric signal is achieved by representing data as electrical pulses. Voltage. So here, if we look here, that's why I prefer you use your PowerPoint. We have here the three methods. All right. This is wireless, fiber, and copper. Bandwidth. What is bandwidth? By definition, is the capacity of a medium to carry data. It measures the amount of data that can flow from one place to another in a given amount of time. It is measured in bits per second. Okay. If you are transmitting text, lower bandwidth is okay. But if you want to transfer high definition videos, you will of course need, or 3D games, high bandwidth, correct? You know that. What happens if the bandwidth is too low? Your application will become very slow. So here we have bits per second, 1 BBS. Kilobyte is equal to 1,000 bit. You have to know these numbers, please. Megabits per second is megabyte, which is 1 million bits, yani 10 to the power 6. Gigabyte is 1 million mega. So it's 10 to the power 9. Terabyte is 10 to the power 12 bits per second. Okay? Throughput is the actual measure of the transfer of bits across the media over a given period of time. Yani how much actually traveled. Okay? And usually it does not match the bandwidth because of the amount of data being sent and received over the connection, the type of data being transmitted, latency created by the number of network devices. Okay? What is latency? Latency refers to the amount of time, including delays, for data to travel from one given point to another. Okay. So here we have latency from A to B, 800 milliseconds, and coming back also 900 milliseconds. Okay. Here we have the diagram. C bandwidth usually is bigger than throughput because of these reasons. Any questions? Transmission flows. What are the obstacles for transmission? Noise. Noise is an undesirable influence degrading or distorting the signal quality or the signal. And it is measured in decibel. Two sources of noise, common sources, EMI, اللي هو electromagnetic interference caused by motors, power lines. That's why it's not good to put your network cable next to high voltage, AC. Also, we have crosstalk. Occurs when the signal on one wire infringe on an adjacent wire. Signal infringe to the next wire. Signal تعبر من الواير للثاني. We call this crosstalk. Okay. So here we have. This is a pure digital signal. This is the interference signal. Okay. And this is the digital signal with interference. So the computer, when it decodes, when it convert the signal, it will get to digital, it will get some errors because of the interference. Okay, so this is a good example. All right. And some zeros become ones because of the noise. Transmission flows is attenuation. Attenuation يعني the loss of signal as it travels from one source تضعف يعني. With distance it becomes weaker, like everything. Signal can be boosted using a repeater. Repeater, it regenerates a digital signal in its original form without the noise. Very good. So here I can put my repeater in the middle. It will regenerate the signal from to its original source. Network medium or medium can be physical media, can be wireless or wireless, wire or wireless. Physical media use wire, cables. Physical media used in communication include twisted pair, coax, fiber-optic cable. These are the most famous types. And the cables are typically used within or underground between buildings. We put them between the buildings, between this classroom and the other, the server room. I'll show you some twisted pair. Actually, it's in front of you. You can look at it at the back where your keyboard. Look at your keyboard, those cable, the gray cable. شايف هذا الكيبل, not the blue one, the one next to it. This is network cable. Okay. In your home, schools, they use twisted pair copper cable because it's inexpensive and it consists of one or more pairs of insulated copper wires that they are twisted. And what is it uses pulses of electricity to transmit the data. What are the disadvantages? First of all, it is sensitive to EMI. Also, it is subjectable to crosstalk. When the cables are banded together, signal, there is a crosstalk. Some signal might jump to the other way. And there are two types of twisted pair. Shielded twisted pair or unshielded. Unshielded is the one that you have here, the thin one. This is the shielded. It is thicker. And why we shield it? Because the shielding acts as a barrier to external electromagnetic forces. Okay, but the shielding should be grounded, and the quality or effectiveness of the STP shield depends on the level and type of the environmental noise, thickness and material used for the shield, the grounding, is it done properly, and symmetry and consistency of the shielding. The shielding should be proper material, the same thickness all over the cable. Newer types of cables such as Cat8 incorporate more sophisticated shielding materials and more tightly twisted wires, higher bandwidths to offer data rate rivaling, to compete with fiber optic cable. But don't forget, STP is more expensive than UTP. كابلات ال STP thick, they are more expensive. UTP, we all know the UTP, we have already talked about it. Okay, it does not contain additional shielding, and it's very popular. Nowadays, the STP is becoming a little bit cheaper, so STP also is becoming popular. But what is more popular? UTP. This is the types of UTP, category 3. You see category 5, Cat5 can reach 10 gigabits per second. Okay. And it is manufactured with high standard Cat5e. And they have more twists per foot, and to better prevent EMI and RFI from outside sources. Cat3 is suitable for Ethernet LANs and mostly used for phone lines. Cat5 is the one you see in front of you. This can reach up to 10 megabits per 100 megabits per second at 100 megahertz and allow for higher data transfer rates. Cat5e can reach 1 gig. All right? Any questions? So let's compare STP and UTP. Throughput the same. Cost, STP is more expensive. Connector, they both use RJ45 connector or Jack 45. You know what is Jack 45? This cable. This is a Jack 45. Okay, you can pass it. This is a Cat5 cable, and this is the connector. Is called RJ45 or Jack 45. Noise immunity. Of course, STP is more noise resistant. Size and scalability. The maximum length for both is 100 meters. Okay. However, some categories of STP require shorter segment lengths to achieve maximum throughput. So you have to know this comparison. Okay. Sometimes it's coming in the assessments. Twisted pair operation. First of all, let's talk about the wiring scheme. This, if you look at the cable, there are wires. يعني مثلا blue twisted over stripped blue، يعني اللي هو أزرق والكابل الثاني مخطط أزرق. We twist them together. This is according to wiring scheme. وفي طريقة للwiring, and there are two standards for typical Ethernet installations. These two standards are here. The TIA recommend these two standards. Okay, T568A and T568B. Okay, they defines the pin out, the order of wires. Okay, and in your network you have to choose one type only. Don't choose different types. Only one type in all your network, otherwise you will get problems. So the same wiring is used for every termination in the project. all over your project, of course. Twisted pair operation. So your cable is connected to the network interface card, and the ports on the networking device are designed to send data over the UTP cables. And specific pins, they have special functions for the transmission. If you have two different devices or unlike devices are directly connected using a UTP Ethernet cable, it is important that the transmit function and the receive function on each end of the cable are reversed. Okay, this cable is I don't know why it's not clear. Wait. It is called straight through cable. Let me write it down for you. This is called straight through cable. Straight through cable, all right? Don't forget. So here I have a switch connected to a computer, straight through cable. And you see that you have transmit, receive, okay? Twisted pair, transmit and receive pairs. So that's straight through cable. What about crossover cable? You use it when connecting two similar devices, يعني PC to PC or switch to switch or router to router. It's called crossover cable. Don't forget, please, the naming. Coax cable. This was the dominant way before twisted pair. We were using coax cable, okay, in 1980s. But nowadays it is replaced with UTP and fiber, okay. However, some of coax is still used for cable internet or cable TV and multimedia. The coax, you can look here, it has center core, silk center core, thick cable. Then it is surrounded by insulator, عليها عازل, a braided metal shielding, okay, and an outer cover. Okay, we call the cover the sheath or jacket. All right. Any questions about this? And by the way, coax provide better shielding than UTP and can carry more data, but it's more expensive. Okay, let's come back here. Fiber optic, of course, is faster. It uses pulses of light. It is constructed of either glass or plastic and is immune to EMI and RFI. Electromagnetic signal does not affect it. Okay. Parts of fiber optic cables are the jacket. The outside, see this one is jacket. Strengthening material, مادة مقوية بحطوها عشان تقوي لأنه في النص glass. It's a glass. Okay. Buffer used to help shield the core and cladding from damage. You know, like the mirror. عارف الميرور. From one side is transparent, from the other side it has paintings. Huh? It is black. Same thing here. It has shielding, it has buffer, cladding, core. The light transmission element at the center of the optical fiber, and the light pulses travel through the fiber core, and the fiber core should be very transparent. شفاف. Okay. عشان الضوء يمشي. This is a fiber optic cable. What are the advantages of it over copper? First of all, high throughput, very high noise resistant, excellent security, and it can travel for long distance. What are the disadvantages? Of course, it is more expensive and it requires special equipments and training to the technicians. Okay. Any questions? We have also another method which is called Power over Ethernet. It is an IEEE 802.3 and standard which specifies a method for supplying electrical power over twisted pair. And the amount of power used is 15.4 watt, yani, okay, and 25.5 for power over Ethernet plus devices. We have two types of devices: power sourcing equipment and powered devices. And power sourcing will receiving devices. PoE requires Cat5 or better cable, so it will not work with Cat3. And the PSE will determine whether a node is PoE capable before attempting to supply it with power. You don't want to burn the device, you don't want to damage the device. If you have a network that needs PoE but you don't have PoE capable equipment, you can add PoE adapter, power over Ethernet adapter. This is the PoE, power over Ethernet. Okay. So here we have security camera. We have power strip. Okay. Any questions? Okay, I'll stop here and